Hello, friends. It is currently 6 p.m. Friday night. This is gonna be hopefully my last Friday night stream or review because I do want to do the Mondays and Wednesdays, not at Friday nights. So today we're gonna have an Empire Strongholds. Before we get into that though, talking about the structure on Monday, I went over Rain's point of view on a Plaza Team Slayer, and I talked about the structure that I plan on doing. So if you missed that, I'm gonna reiterate. I won't be doing full length theater mode reviews anymore. I'm gonna be going over a lot faster, probably like 10-minute reviews, like maybe in the like 6-7 minute reviews instead of doing these full length. I enjoy doing the full lengths more, but they just take up too much time. That I think that going to the 10 to 20-minute reviews, like 20-minute max, and then like work my way down, will be better for the stream overall. So honestly, I hope that's better. Not 100% sure though. I am unmuted. It is 6 o'clock, so everything is going great so far. um, so yeah, last full length review. This is a scrim between, who is it? Let's put on the game. It's a scrim between. Oh, that's not the game. That's the game. All right, Triton, Firebird, Chaser, and Scariotic versus Stinky Leaf, His House, Insight, and Rain. I believe this is a scrim. Might be a tournament gameplay. I think it's a scrim. Anyway, Strongholds on Empire. We will get this started in just a second. Alright, let's go over to Insight. So we are going over his point of view. We're going to be going a little bit over his team as well, but mostly focusing on his point of view. Just like normal, guys, just like normal. So going outside for OS, standard play. Not sure about that first grenade, but I'm sure. Oh, I always hate just YOLOing for the OV. I don't know. Maybe you don't need to go over it. Maybe YOLO for it. Maybe you do. That's up to you, honestly. I would actually, let's just go back and watch this really quick. So when you go outside for this OV and you want to YOLO for it, you have to wait for your teammates to make a move. So you just decide to go for it. If you wait a second for Taco to get into this fight on top middle, and for your teammate to get into this fight over here, just wait another second. One more second, and you get this OV no problem. But because you go for it, just because you want to go for it, you don't end up getting it. I think that's the mistake here. Look, yeah, exactly. Your teammate would have gotten into that fight, so James couldn't have helped. Ian's in pit, and the guy's fighting Red Ben, so you'd have gotten the overshield if you just wait one more second for your teammates to get into a battle. Good job not jumping there with the plasma pistol coming in. Your teammates got blue base, or you're fighting in blue base. You just need to stay alive. That's fine. You're in a tough position. Here, let's talk about the. Alright, so let's talk about this again. This was a really tough position for you to be in. And I think you made an okay play, but let's see if we could have made it better. So your teammate's in blue, fighting a guy in blue. The rest of your opponents are going to be doing random things. The OS guy's up here. You end up getting pushed by 2, right? So you get that guy weak bottom tower. You know he's going to come up behind you. And then you end up jumping back out at this guy. I think that you just fighting this guy top tower with your grenades, you put a splinter grenade on the ramp, you're fine. But because you come out on the alley side and you just get into this 1v1 that you hope to win, you're basically risking your life too much. You're giving away your life. This could have been a much better play if you use your splinter grenade that you have and just block off the ramp. You gotta value your life a lot more in these situations. Basically in every situation in Halo. Just value your life over your opponent's life. Alright, so your opponents are still trip capping. You want to get into red to help your teammate, but you need kills here. You can't just go for the base, and that's exactly what you decided to do. You just decided to shoot. See a second, guy. This is good gameplay here. Baiting for your teammate. He finally notices. This should be a free kill eventually. I think that's a little hasty. Your teammate's full shields. Just wait for your shields to come back, then go in. Again, not too big of a deal, but it just can be a big deal. You don't see this guy crouching. This get played by that guy. Get out, get out. Ah, you're giving your opponents a chance here. And I talk about this a lot, especially in like maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, where you're giving your opponents a chance to do something. You're giving your opponent right there a chance to get that kill on you. The saw's a really powerful weapon. He jumps up, shoots you a little bit. If you don't thrust away instantly, he jumps back up and he kills you with it. That's a death that's not needed. Well, you didn't die, and you can look back at it and say, I didn't die. It's not about the fact that you did or didn't die. It's about the fact that you gave him a chance to kill you. And I think that's the mistake there. The mistake we're gonna be seeing a little bit more in this gameplay probably. Or maybe not. Maybe it was a one-time thing. Good job there. Right, so you guys have pit. Oh, okay, guys, talk to me about this. So let's rewatch this. This is one of my favorite moments in the game. Tell me what his mistake was right here. Like, you could see it going through his head. What's his mistake? So let's fast forward through this a little bit. Let's get the situation in your guys' head. Let's talk about where the positions are right now. So your teammate's capping pit. The other teammate's like pressuring blue kind of, and you just killed one. All right. Your teammates end up getting pit here, and you're like, look how far you guys are pushed up. This is a really good position for you guys. However, one of your teammates dies in blue. They're in turbine. And the other one more dies in front blue. You get this kill, and then this right here, guys. What is the mistake here? Like, before you even watch it, what's just gonna happen to him? I don't even have to watch this to tell you guys exactly what happens in about 10 to 15 seconds from this point right here. He's gonna die. He's charging alone. So this is the mistake I see from everyone. Like, it's getting better. Sure, it's getting better. No, the shields have nothing to do with this play. Being one shot down doesn't really change any fights, really. So what he should have done is stayed in turbine, stayed blue bend, and then if they win another fight, then they can push for the trip cap. But this is the push I see everyone make, like whether it's matchmaking, tournament games, scrims, whatever. It's just about holding the two that you have. You're not like, look at your opponents right now. You think that with one dead and one off respawn, you two maybe, like if your teammate pushes with you, are gonna capture the space. And what the mistake here is that, sure, you might trade 1-for-1, but you shouldn't be trading 1-for-1 here. You should be trading 4-for-1. Your opponent should never, ever, like, break out of this setup for probably like 20 points. Maybe a little exaggerated, but still, by you pushing to the BR here, you're just gonna die. Like, there's a guy coming out blue bin, so you can't run away. None of your teammates are in turbine. And you can be like, oh, well, I thought I had help pushing here, but I ended up not getting help. Well, that's because your teammates died. Like, you had one die blue windowsill, and those deaths were fine. Your teammates' deaths were fine because they were pushing for pit, they were getting kills. Here, you're setting up versus your opponents. And by sitting blue BR, like, this is an okay situation if they're all coming off spawn, but because they're already on spawn, like off spawn or whatever, they're already coming out to blue bin. Your teammates, like, even if that guy doesn't spawn, like if 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah, if your opponent spawns red plat now, everything can just be broken, regardless of the fact that you're blue BR. But you're just gonna die blue BR. Let's just watch his play. What do you know? He died. Now, why is this death important? It's the first death. The first death is the most important death in any setup situation. If your opponents get a kill, they can then push out and do whatever they want to do. Look, turbine's pretty much free because at most there's 3 people, so it's a 3v3. But because this guy is probably shooting top tower, they know it's a 3v2. they can do whatever they want. Like these guys, Turbine can just run to red bin. They couldn't run to red bin before. They'd have to sit blue bin, you know, wait and get kills, and then eventually push. But because that kill is gotten, they're gonna push out really fast and do whatever they want on the map. Oh look, a second kill. And all right, we'll call that a kill. Phantom Rain is dead. Now it's a 2v4. Your opponents are just gonna capture pit now. Like that's just what happens. Like, and that's all because of Insight. That has nothing to do with anything but Insight's play. Going to blue BR. I hope I talked about that enough. That like I cannot stress the importance of that, and I really don't want to be mean and like you know consistently harp on that play. But that play is made way too much for like I've never seen it work. Again, exaggerating, but it never works. And I really want players to stop making that play. Alright, so again, you're pushing, like the team's pushing the trip cap without actually securing the base that they're at. So you do spawn red alley, if I'm right. But your opponents are coming off respawn, your teammates blue plat. They are going to spawn red plat if you leave red plat. This is something that not a lot of people think of, and it's not as important, but it's just the idea of like, we have red, we have pit. I want to stay at red, force them to go to pit, and then I collapse on them pit. That should be your logic, that should be what you're thinking, but instead what you're thinking is like, I want to help get kills, I want to do this, I want to do that, instead of just focusing on what you need to do overall as a team. So again, they spawn red plat. If, like you can just block it, but it's more so like if they spawn there, you're there to kill them as well. K-Full, I'll go over that play again at the end of the game. Since I think that play is super important, I love going over. I love going back over stuff, especially since it was right at the start. So capping red or capping blue, blah blah blah. Your opponents should get the other base. Yeah, it's pit. They have red and they're gonna get pit. You going to tower here? I guess you're going for saw. Ovi's coming up. Like this is like a 50-50 play, where if Drew doesn't just go for pit, like Leroy Jenkinsing it into pit, you guys can both go outside, at least challenge for the overshield. But you're going for the saw. You're assuming that you guys aren't getting the overshield, I think, and so you're going for the saw. And I like that play. So now this is the situation where you want to play slow. You're gonna get pickoffs. Your opponents aren't gonna die unless they make a mistake. You don't want to rely on them making a mistake. So you're gonna be playing around tower, playing it slow. Yeah. I think you're sprinting a little bit too much. Like someone could be hiding red tower, like shoot you in the back, kill you, force you out to your opponents. Like look at the real estate your opponents have. They're in red. They could be red bend and blue bend. You going straight to top tower here. If there's one guy more top tower, because again, there's 3 of your opponents alive and one coming off respawn. He could have spawned red plat. Saw just came up. So again, there could be people here. You going into the middle of top tower. For like they could easily say, hey, there's a guy top tower, I'm gonna fight him in a second, let's kill him, like something like that, and you could go down. So I think you're playing this a little too aggressively, and even though like looking at the map you're not, I think you need to be playing a little bit more patiently here. And then this is good though, you're staying top tower, you're not dying. I don't know about they do have OS, so going back to blue is fine. Your blue is fine. And so that's 2 dead. What's the importance of this 2 dead right here? So we're going to look around the map. What is the importance of this 2 kills that he just got that his opponents probably shouldn't have given up? So that going back to blue here is a really good really good play because they had OS. Let's ask the chat here. What is the importance of those 2 kills? What should be going through his head because of those 2 kills? This one isn't really like a right or wrong answer. It's just you want to think about what's going through your mind in this situation. Ba-doo-doo. Alright. With 2 dead, you can more easily control spawns and take map control. When they have 2 dead, you won't have to worry about them pushing a trip cap, so you can wait for your team to spawn and retake control together via slaying. Sure, I guess, like that's kind of the idea of what you want to think of. But mostly it's like you killed 2, so now you want to work on finding your opponents as well as getting control with the saw. So he has a power weapon right now. He can easily win any 1v1 that he gets in as long as he doesn't get caught off guard. So what he doesn't want to do is he doesn't want to just go on the fan and go into turbine. He can either sit blue bend, wait for his team, and then slowly take turbine control, or he can take turbine control himself by going like this. This is a little bit more risky, but I think it's worth the risk because you're saving your team a lot of time. And if both of your opponents are turbine, that means that tower control is clear. So I think that forcing the issue yourself is fine in this situation. You jump up onto the you jump up and get splintered though, so disregard everything I just said. But I do think that you should be getting blue bin control here. I think sitting back is a little bit too slow of play. Like this is perfect. So again, this all stemmed from your opponents pushing into blue with the overshield, which is what they can do. I don't mind the push there. They just didn't end up winning the fight as hard as they should have, so they lost. They got easily cleaned up by Insight. And because of those 2 people pushed into blue, this turbine take was so easy for him. Like it didn't take the saw. It took him and his teammate because they weren't able to get under blue bend and under blue sneaky. They weren't able to get any kills. So Insight and his teammate were able to get control of turbine. Now because of this shit, they should get control of pit. Nice. This is just great play. Like this is the push of the trip cap that exactly they needed. Now because they're forcing their opponents to take blue, I think this is the mistake that I'm talking about again. If they push into blue and try to get the reset here, bad. Just simply bad. Look at where his teammates are. He has 2 in red, 1 in he's here. If Taco dies here, that's super bad. All he has to do is back up to blue fan. All Taco has to do is back up to blue fan and just sit up here and watch the bend, watch the BR, and then back up when he sees people. That's it. And Insight, again, not pushing across the map. Perfect play here. I think pressuring a little too hard. So if your teammates aren't blocking red plat here, they could spawn red plat since you are pushing here. So that's something to be careful of. Let's actually see where this guy spawns. I'm not like too interested in this play. I'm focused on, yeah, spawn in tower. He could have spawned red plat there. And that, again, I think you should be waiting for all 4 players to spawn. You don't need to push into blue here. This is the exact play that I'm saying not to do. And this is the 2nd time that you've made it this game. So let's fast forward through this again. Let's rewatch this. So again, you killed 5. Great stuff. This is really good position for you. You don't need to have a trip cap to, like, you know, be in a good situation. You can just lock them all in the space. So 3 people are in the space. Your teammate's fighting for it. So you're thinking in your head, I want to help my teammate. Instead of, what is good for this game? Like, what is the position that I should be in, that we should be forcing them in, and that we want to make sure that they're not getting into? For instance, we don't want them to be red plat to tower side. So you sit back red plat tower side, or sit in tower, wait for them all to spawn, and then do something. Your teammate, get the fuck out of blue. Yeah, you going into blue plat here, you're just gonna die again. Like, they've got blue. You're hoping they don't spot you. I think they did. And you're just gonna go down. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, at this point, getting into this fight doesn't matter. Ian has won this fight by spawning you. Like, you're just like, hopefully I get a kill. And you feel like that in game. You're like, oh, well, I'm dead. Let's see if I can get this kill. And you shouldn't feel like that. You just killed 5 of them in a row. You shouldn't have to feel like, maybe I get this kill and maybe I can trade and that's the best situation I can be in. You should be like, haha, my opponents aren't able to do anything. So again, you do get the trade kill, and your opponents are getting back down by your teammates. But look, 3 of your teammates go down. And that's all because you pushed into blue plat and Taco pushed into blue BR. Like, that's just stuff that doesn't need to happen. You guys can just wait for your opponents to spawn, kill them because you guys have the positioning, and then push into blue. But because you guys are just like pushing in a blue to push in a blue to help your team to do whatever it is that you guys are thinking is correct, you guys just lose control. Now they're fighting for pit instead of fighting for outside and fighting for map position right now. They're fighting for pit, and they get it. Like, and that's all because you guys pushed twice for this pit. And this is the game types I love to watch. Like, these are the simplest game types that, like, or not game types, but like game plays. That's like I'm able to point out what's wrong, and like this is really high level gameplay, but not in the sense of like team wise, but like individually. You know what you want to do, you know how you want to fight. You're just missing this one thing that I'm able to like go into. Like, these are the type of people I really want to help the most. It's like they're good at the game. Look, they're scrimming against Chaser's team. Chaser's a really good player. That's a really good team. And I'm able to just say, like, if you stop making this one mistake that you're making, you're gonna beat this team like almost every time, because you are as skilled at them as them. You're just making this one small mistake. So I love going over these types of games. So this is good again, because you have control now, because your team has control of Turbine. I think one was dead before this play happened. You're able to sit in top tower, but not like hiding top tower. You're able to actually sit in the open and help your teammates get a kill. And then once you get the kill, then you're pushing. So this is good. Yeah, lags across your screen. And then you end up going down. I don't mind that play at all. Like, that play was fine. If your teammates get more kills, you're able to drop into pit right away. You're able to clean up anyone from blue. That was a good play. Good play there. You're fighting for the outside control. Like, nothing to complain about there. Standard Halo play. Go for Saw when it's up. Good. Nice. Good decision to go for the Spartan charge. I always hate going for the Spartan charge, but I'm just not very good at it. Oh no, someone's lagging out or something. Right there, I think you should have thrown a grenade. This is a little bit more on the petty, pedantic side, but if you throw a grenade right here, land in Turbine, you're able to clear out this area of Turbine for your team. You just do that. Since you have 2 grenades, there's a grenade that spawns right here. It takes like half a second, and then you can push out to the same spot that you're pushing out to. Good job staying alive there. But your opponents have overshield. Like, you guys, I don't know about going for pit while your opponents have overshield. I know it's like you're not actually going for it, you're just kind of in pit shooting. But you should be playing more for kills, more for map control, stuff like that. Softfly wanted to hit it. Nah, I thought better. You end up staying alive. Like, this is really good skill. Look at this skill. Like, I can't say enough for you. And the individual performance right here. Like, throughout the entire game, your individual performance, like, not like Halo knowledge or anything, just like individual performance, like using the mechanics of the game to stay alive, trying to fight. If you're in a 1v2 situation, you're trying to fight 1v1s while like hiding from the other guy. Like this exact situation, like this entire fight right here. Let's watch this again. Like, first of all, winning that 1v1 right there, huge. Getting the perfect on him, he's running into a wall, who cares? But you end up staying alive here, getting caught off guard. Stay alive, fight for pit, stay alive here. You get shot once, you back up. Like, I'm not going to say this is because you're watching my films, but I'm going to say this is because you're watching my But no, like, you don't get shot more than once. You don't get put into a position where you have to hide now that you're one shot. You're able to say, I'm weak, but I'm still able to get control of this small area. See, if you're hiding in this position, you wouldn't be able to, like, see this guy on radar and jump out at him and kill him. Like, oh, what a great play. And then you kill him, and then you stay alive to this guy top middle. And then look, like that's all. Alright, sorry, I have to go back to this again. This play is so many small, very good things that, like, I have to give you credit for. So again, staying alive there. Getting weak here, but getting shot twice, or like 1.5 times or something. And then backing up. You have a saw. You could have won that fight. But what do? You back up to front red. And like, because you back up to front red without taking damage from Ian, who, if you kill him, doesn't matter at all. And you recognize that. And you say, I'm going to get into a better position with a saw. And so you sit here. If you're sitting here, this kill doesn't happen. If that kill doesn't happen, your team's fucked. But then you get the kill, and then you're back into this good position again, and then you stay alive. Like, this entire sequence of events has been absolutely extraordinary from you. And that's 4 dead. You got 1 kill. Alright, let's back this up. I'm gonna make a false statement. You got 1 kill for your team. That is a completely false statement because you just killed the entire enemy team by yourself. Like, that was how good of a play that was. I'm not sure if you recognize it or like if anybody else recognized that, but you just killed the entire enemy team by yourself. Actually, it brings a little bit of a tear to my eye to see how good of a play that was. Whatever, let's just move on. Don't want to start the waterworks on this stream. Trading there. Alright. Think you can play more in this position because he has to cap the stronghold. I think you can play a little bit more passively, but I don't mind the play at all. So don't worry about it. Come on, let me switch. What the fuck is going on? See, this is good. Your opponents don't have control of blue yet. Your teammates fighting in there. You're going to go help. This is good. Like, this is the opposite of what the plays that you were making earlier, where you're just pushing into blue while they're all 4 alive. But they're not all 4 alive. They're just getting off spawn in tower. So you're getting these pick-off kills in blue, and you can make this push into blue with your team. I'll answer questions. I'll go back through the chat and answer questions after the stream. So there's the bat again. Like, this is one mistake that you've made 3 times this game that doesn't need to happen. So if you would have pushed in with your teammate here, you could have gotten control of blue base and made them all 4 come back to blue and then stay alive, blue bend. But because you go top middle and get that kill, like, sure, that's fine. And you can still go into blue right here. But because you take a little bit too much time to get into blue, look, because you take that 4 extra seconds, your opponents are getting into good positions to where if you go into blue with your teammate's like, help, I need help in blue. But because you try and go in there, like, they're all 4 in there. Like, they're all 4 able to do whatever they want to do. And so you end up going down. So that's the biggest mistake that I see you constantly making is you try to push for the trip cap, try to push to help your team, instead of thinking about where your opponents are and like how fast they can be in positions. Oh, I like it. You know, I like it. Saw was coming up, you're trying to win the 1v1 there instead of giving your opponent the advantage on the 1v1 for Saw, so I like that play a lot.
Blue team nearing victory.
Good double kill there. I think you could have stayed alive. Maybe your thrust wasn't up, but I think it was. I think you could have thrusted away, but that was a fine push for the pit. Nothing to really complain about there. Oops. Hit the button. I mean, fine. Again, I said earlier, you want to prioritize your life more than the life of your opponents. So, getting a perfect kill there, sure. Like, I don't know. It's just not gonna do much of anything for you. So I don't know. We'll just skip past that part because I honestly don't know the answer to that. You going for pit here, super bad. Like, this position here, just is you're gonna die. Like, that's the end of the statement here. Look where your opponents are. Like, your opponents are 4 up. Your teammate just died front blue. Like, even if you get a trade kill here, what does that accomplish for you? So instead off your spawn, you want to just go outside. Why do you want to go outside? Well, so that you can get the real estate control of the map. You're able to clear out red sneaky, clear out top middle, clear out turbine, and then you're able to get to blue fan. You're able to clear out this entire area. So you're forcing your opponents to be in a specific situation. But if you are sitting here, nothing's gonna come of this. Well, you pushed here to help your teammate. Like you pushed to help Taco because your Taco was like, I need help in this situation. No, your teammate doesn't need help. If he's calling for help, he's an idiot. I'm just kidding. He's not an idiot. It's just what you do in Halo. You call for help. But your decision to help him here just isn't smart. And you know it by watching it. But it's just something you got to think about throughout the entire game. And it works out. We're just going to say you're dead and your team is just in a bad position here. But it works out somehow. And this is like an amateur. Yeah, all right. So this is if you're looking at what did Josh call it? I forget what the term is, but if you're looking at this situation and say, I got 2 kills there. It was a good play. Like, I got 2 kills, I stayed alive, we're going to get pit here. It was a good overall play. You're looking at it performance-based, like, you know, you're looking at the situation performance-based. How did it work? Instead of looking at it like, should this work and how often is this situation going to work? That situation is not going to work 90% of the time. But because these are amateur teams, like mistakes are going to be made to where you're able to stay alive and you're able to like get 2 kills and now Ninja's going to happen in pit or something. Now you guys are fighting for pit where you guys should not be fighting for pit. You guys should still be fighting for outside control.
5 minutes remain.
Alright, so you guys do end up all going down. And well, I don't blame you for I don't blame you specifically. Yeah, results oriented. Results oriented. Thank you. I'm just better. Like that. That's exactly what I was thinking. Results oriented. If you're looking at the results and saying that worked out well because we got 2 kills, then you're not looking at it correctly. Alright, so your teammate, again, like one of your teammates is dying in turbine. He shouldn't be dying in blue sneaky of all places. I think he got chased there, maybe. But you should be going into turbine here. I think at most of the time, yeah, poker term. It actually is a poker term. I used to play a little bit, but my friend was really good at it, and that's he used to when he talks about things, that's how he talks about it. So when you spawn red plat and your teammates are spawning red plat, I think most of the time, like in a default situation, you want to send your first 3 guys outside and then your last guy to tower. You don't want to send your first guy or your second guy or maybe even your 3rd guy to tower because then that 4th guy is going to be late to whichever situation he goes. So because it takes longer to go outside to red, you're giving your teammates oh, so this is the situation that I don't get to talk about too much in this game. This is actually cool. So I don't get to talk about this too much, but the term waiting for teammates. You've heard the term waiting for teammates before, but what does it actually mean? Most bad players think that waiting for teammates means you're going to sit here. I spawned, I'm going to wait in this spot or maybe in this spot somewhere around here for my teammates because I'm waiting for my teammates. But that's not what the term waiting for teammates is. It means I'm not going to die or get in a position to where I'm going to die. I'm going to wait for my teammates. I'm still going to push the map. So what you want to do is you want to go outside red. Your teammates are still coming off spawn, and the guy that dies blue sneaky, he's going to spawn red plat, and he's going to go tower. But you're not wasting any time by going red bin, because your teammates are still going to spawn red plat most of the time. They can still spawn red bin. Whew. Oh, I got a little bit of a burp. But yeah, so again, they're going to spawn red plat, they're going to go into tower. But I think the default setup, the default push is to go the first 3 guys out to red bin, and then you're going to fight for red bin while your teammate goes tower. But you going tower here, basically waste time for your teammate coming off spawn, because he's going to have to go turbine because you're already tower. So I think that's something that you might want to look into more. And then you end up going down. And your teammates are fighting for turbine control. Whether or not they're gonna get it, I don't know, but I think they would have had a much better chance if you went there instead. Because look, your teammate's just sitting in red. That's because he wanted to be the guy that went tower, but because they already they got the kill on you, he can't go tower anymore. So that's something to look at. think you guys are gonna get pit here. Your teammates somehow. Alright, good nade there. Oh god, this is a disaster, and it ends up working out. Now run! Run the fuck back to red. Get the fuck out of there. I swear to god, if you die here from blue or somewhere like top pit, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously.
Blue team score.
You're fucking, you're gonna make me throw up, dude. You're gonna make, you're gonna make me throw up. No, no, dude, no. Oh god. Uh, no, 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 no. Oh god. Oh Jesus. Hold on. Oh.
Red team scoring. Size the play. Lost pit. Game over.
Oh, that was a little aggressive, guys. Just a little bit. uh, so happy. I'm so happy you submitted this game insight. Like, cause, all right, don't don't make me think that or don't think that I'm in any way making fun of you. Like, I mean a little bit, but like don't think any negative about this because this is a play. Like, this is exactly why you're submitting this game. Like you just said in the chat, this is exactly why you're submitting this game. I have a problem on this game time. I'm not able to like figure it out myself, and I want like some help on it. That's exactly what you just said. Like, I think that that is such a great way to look at things, and I'm so happy that you're able to that is a reason that you're submitting this game, and like I'm able to just help you out so much because of this. Like, you made this mistake here, and you probably been making it a little bit more. Are you gonna make it any more? Probably not. I mean, maybe not right away. You're still gonna fall into the same habits a little bit, but you're able to think about it more. And so I love that I'm able to help you out in this specific situation. And don't think that you're the only one that does this. Is the thing. Like, everybody does this, as I talked about earlier. Sure, you might do it a little bit more than everyone else, but still, everyone makes this mistake. And I'm so glad that I'm able to find an extreme example of it, and I'm able to like help everyone out in this way. So I'm really happy. Like, I'm making fun of a little bit because that was like the fourth times that that you've done this, but I'm still really happy that I'm able to help you out like this. So again, let's talk about this. Let's actually talk about this. So again, for those of you who don't know, if you shoot at someone who is in an area of spawns, so if you shoot at a guy in blue, if you this guy blue plat's getting shot, this guy blue flag's getting shot, one player on their team still coming off spawn, your opponents aren't going to spawn blue plat here. So this last guy should spawn red plat or red tower or something. Right? He spawned red plat. So because you pushed into red, because you didn't push into red and you pushed into blue, this guy spawned red plat, won the game. If you didn't push into blue here, I'm going to say 99% of the time you're going to win this game. Like, that's it. But again, you are a really talented player. Your team is really talented. Like, you're putting up a great fight versus these guys, and you're still making and you're making these fundamental mistakes that you're gonna fix so easily. Like, all right, so yeah, this is why I wanted to go over your type of game. Like, this type of game is because I'm able to look at these games and I can't just say you lost because you're bad. Like, I'm not able to say that. I'm gonna say you lost because you made this mistake. Stop making that mistake, and you're gonna win. And I love being able to say that. I hate going over diamond, maybe super low onyx level gameplay, and they lose, and it's like, well, you lost because you're just like not as good as your opponents. But that's not the situation here. You're actually so good, and your team's actually so good. But because you make this mistake in this game a couple of times, you lost the game, and you're not gonna make this mistake anymore. So I love that I'm able to go over it. So for the questions, so now that I'm done with this game, any questions that you guys have, let me know. There's two people that asked a question. The first one was there's a pink guy. Where's the pink guy at? Man. Oh, join. There it is, pink guy. Join late. What play did he make that was so bad? Um, so it was right at the start. Come on, game. Work for me. Really?
Red team scored.
Alright. So it was right off the start. Insight. It's the play that he made multiple times this game. So if you join late, this was the play he made. So he gets 2 kills in Turbine. His teammate dies from blue, and his other teammate died in Turbine. So 2 people are coming off respawn in his team, and so it's a 2v3 push right here. Yeah, look, 2v3, and he pushes to red BR or blue BR here, and then just dies. So I talked about this before going into the play. I saw him going up. I saw him going from pit to front blue, and I said, this is gonna be a mistake. Why is this a mistake? And then he ends up making the mistake that I talked about. I said he's gonna die in 10 to 15 seconds. He dies in like 8. And then he makes this mistake a couple of more times. So that was the play that he made that was so bad that I was talking about. And then Flo Ulb says, what do you think is the most important on Empire after gaining control of pit and a side base? So you have to assess your situation, but most of the time after gaining control of pit and a side base, so actually it just happens right here. So they get side base, then they're fighting for pit, they get pit, and then they get 2 kills, one right there, one right there. Now you should be thinking, I want to block spawns, or I don't want to block their spawns, but I want to control as much of the map as I can. So how much is as much of the map as you can without blocking spawns? It is inside tower. So it's like anywhere inside here, but you can't shoot to blue plat, because if you shoot blue plat, they won't spawn there anymore. And you want to sit blue fan. So this is controlling most of the real estate. So one, your opponents are, like, you're playing strongholds. Your opponents have to sit in pit for a combined total of 8 seconds. That's not easy to do, especially in this game. So you're forcing your opponents to eventually fight for pit, but first they have to fight. So think about it as a Slayer map. If you're sitting here and they're all 4 spawning in red or in blue, they're not going to win this fight most of the time. So first they have to win that fight, and then they have to win another fight for pit. So they have to win 2. But if you force yourself into blue, they don't have to win any more fights. They've already won it. So if you just if you don't think about it as in like I'm playing Halo, more of like force them to do stuff that they don't want to do, it's gonna make your life a lot easier. All right, so more questions. When you're trip capped on this map and keep split spawning or spawning tower, what is the best way to retake a side base? Unless you're in a dire situation where they have like more than 60 points in a trip cap, you shouldn't be thinking, how do I retake this base? Your thought process should be, how do I kill them? Most of the time, again, you have to take a stronghold by sitting in there for 8 seconds. That's not easy to do when they have a trip cap and they're able to rotate between the bases. So you want to kill them and then retake the base. I see so many times people just like, well, I spawned here, I'm going to take it, and then they just die. So if you spawn into a base, so let's say you have a trip cap, you spawn blue plat. Everyone, even pro players, they'll make this mistake. They'll get into the base. 6 seconds later, they get naded out and shot. Oh, I died in blue. It was so close. No, it wasn't close. They were letting you get there. They were gathering their forces, and then they're going to kill you. Don't think that way. So then push out to blue bin, and get this kill over here. Control this position, so your teammates, all they have to do is look out the window. No one's jumping in my window. No one's jumping in my BR. We're going to cap blue here. Like, that's basically the most important thing. Like, don't just cap the base, you have to get kills. But yeah, if you're spawning in tower, like, and you know they're not inside blue, you can go like front blue, like try and get a kill over here. But again, just focus on the kills. Do not focus. It's really hard if you're not the first person to spawn. Your teammates spawn and they're in blue. then you're like, well, I don't know what to do. Like if your teammates make that mistake, you just like give up kind of. But yeah, try to if you're that first person off spawn, try not to make that mistake. To Hey RyaNoob, I'm thinking of submitting a gameplay for the next one. How would I go about that? Through Twitter or YouTube? So watch the YouTube link that Foxkiller put in. If you're watching this on YouTube, go to my videos. It's called RyaNoob Review or RyaNoob Vlog, RyaNoob Review. No, it's kind of ridiculous, but you watch that and uh, you're able to submit your games if you just follow the instructions there. So yeah, do that and then tweet it at me. I prefer tweet. I got this one from YouTube comments, so I do look at YouTube comments. It's just a lot easier for me to look at the tweets. But if you don't have a Twitter, you want to submit it on YouTube, go ahead, no problem. What would you say the best power positions on this game type and map? Um, so yeah, on Empire Strongholds, the best power position is just sitting in turbine. It's not like about the turbine specifically. It's about sitting between the bend and the sneaky and the ability to stay alive. So in Halo, I always talk about you want to think about what is your best like what is your best escape route, basically. So if you're sitting under blue bend, you're able to get a kill, you're able to thrust away, and if you get chased, you go into blue sneaky. So again, if you get this kill on blue bend, and a second guy chases you blue bend, and you thrust into the sneaky and you get triple teamed, you force three people to look at you and you got a kill. Your team's gonna win the fight eventually, most of the time. So again, like it's all about controlling this area. Guys who goes into sneaky, you jump up, you AR punch him, then you can thrust out here, or you can thrust back into turbine and then go into this position and get out. So I think this is the most important position on the map, basically. So if they're in blue, you sit under blue bend. If they're in red, you sit under red bend, and then you just win the game because of it. All right. So thanks everyone for watching. This is a perfectly timed episode. This is 47 minutes long. I think that I think this is probably one of my best episodes. Probably my favorite episode. I wouldn't be able to say my best, but this is definitely going to be my favorite review that I've done so far. So thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to continue to stream some matchmaking though, since I have nothing better to do.